Greetings, fellow ham operators. It's K4AVK, Jeff from Virginia Beach here, and the year is January 2026. My goodness, where has time gone? Looking at the couple of videos I posted in the past, it's been almost 4 years since I posted a video. So, good grief. A couple reasons for that. I was less active quite a bit in 24 and 25, primarily because one of my other hobbies is I am a gigging musician while still maintaining the day job at this point. But I play music quite a bit, and I played a lot in those years and still playing a lot. But it kind of took my focus off ham radio and never lost the desire. It's just fitting so much into a day. So with that said, in 2025, later second half, I did kind of get some time to refocus and get back into radio a little more earnestly. And man, I've been doing some changes since that period of time, and also quite a few changes to my shack that I want to show you today since my last video. You know, as I said in the first video, I'm still relatively new to the hobby, about 7 years in, going on 8 years in. You know, I look at a lot of hams online that have great content, a lot around the technical parts of ham radio, making antennas and all those sorts of things. I definitely defer to their expertise on a lot of that type of content. What I've posted mostly is just things that I've been doing in my ham shack that hopefully if you want to do something like what I'm doing, what I've put together here that seems to work for me. I've made some additions that I really like, and they may be things that you can use in your ham shack. With that said, I'll take a pause here, and I'll flip the camera around and kind of show you everything that's new since I last posted in 2022, I think. So be back in a moment. Alright, Jeff back with you, starting on this side of the room. This is my Expert 1.3 FA amp, and it was in my prior video, but I am using it a little differently than I was before. At that point in time, I was just going through one radio right into input 1 on the amp. It will handle 2 radios, and then into a MFJ tuner going to my antenna switch. So I still have the antenna switch and I still go through that. The difference here is I do use the input button over here on the left hand side to cycle through my 2 primary radios at this point, which is a ICOM 7610 that I had in the last video, and then in 2025 I also added a Flex 8400, which is now my primary phone radio, and the Flex is what I primarily use for, no, I'm sorry, 7610 I use for FT8, and the 8400 I use for phone. So it works out pretty well, and I'll talk about the Flex in a minute, but I really like it. Still love the ICOMs. I'm an ICOM guy, but the Flex is doing a really great job for me. Okay, moving over to this side, I'll turn this guy on. I still have my 7300 here. I won't put the display up, but this is now handling my CW decoder. So as I said in the last video, I use MRP40 because I never learned CW. I did give it a shot in the last 4 years, but I didn't make a lot of progress. So that's still a goal, and we'll see how that goes. But that radio there I use for my CW work, along with a little micro PC that runs the MRP40 software. Setting next to that again is my ICOM 7610. So I can use it for phone or voice. It's primarily being used for FTA, just FT8, just the way I've got it arranged. But my primary microphone, which is now a Heil PR781, I can switch between the radios. All right, above that, this is a more recent addition. I'll back up and zoom out. I went to the Palistar HF Auto Tuner, and this is a really cool cool tuner they put together here. It's basically a motorized. It's run by stepper motors, no relays, and it dials in, and it can pretty much tune anything I've got to any band I want, really. So it's got a bunch of memory locations, so as I've used it, it's doing a great job for me. Still have the antenna switch there. No secret there. A little different in how I've got it labeled. I now run the two radios, the primary radios, the ICOM 7610 and the Flex, through the amp. Make the selection there. So if you'll see on the antenna switch, you just see amp in, because either one of those radios can go to that port. And then I can connect my Flex without an amp. I never do that. I just run through the amp. Whether I operate the amp, it's, you know, many times it's in bypass, but if I need to engage the amp, it's ready to go. And then the 7300 is there when I do use the CW software. Now, not on the switch, position number F there, I still have the vintage Kenwood that I showed in the other video, and it's connected there, and I actually turned it on today. It needs a lot of work if I was really going to seriously use it, but it's a cool piece to have, and I still got it in the shack. All right, let's see. Let's take a pause for a second. All right, Jeff back with you. Moving along with the updated ham tour. This is a multi-purpose monitor display. It's actually a TV, and I'm using the HDMI input. So the TV comes in handy for periods like now, where we're having this huge magnetic storm over here in Virginia, or I guess across the U.S. or worldwide. That's probably the best way to put it. Yeah, huge magnetic storm, crazy A and K factors. So propagation hasn't been great. So at times like that, I might just watch TV. But I am working a little FT8 actually. So this display, I can flip between the 7610 display there, or I have a couple remote PCs. For instance, the one that I use for the MRP40 software, I can just toggle the input and put it on this display here. So anyway, that's what I do with that. One of the most recent additions to the shack, which is, when I say recent, is this past weekend. This is the Microham Arco rotator controller. I have a Yaesu GX800 rotator, and I ended up buying this controller. I'd been looking at it for a while. They think highly of them, but I went ahead and took the plunge, and this is one of the coolest things I've ever seen. It's like a micro PC inside of it. You can customize it once you get past the typical rotator stuff. As far as the counterclockwise, clockwise limits, you can customize headings. It's integrated to my logging software through the LAN, no less. It'll do USB or LAN, which means you could actually control it remotely across the internet. I'm not doing that, but I am controlling it across the LAN in the shack. And just as an example, you can see how it moves. I'll use one of the presets here. Whoops, that's not what I wanted to do. It's not what I wanted to do at all. I wanted to hit that. and we should see it actually start to go. There it goes. So you can see the heading indicator change, and then the rotator position indicator move right along with it. And there you have it. And we can go back to, let's say, Asia from MySpace. I keep hitting it and holding on it. There we go. Obviously, I'm still learning how to use this darn thing. And there it is. So, and you can customize the zooms on the map. Right now, I have it set for basically to see the bulk of the U.S., but you can see a global picture on the map. Moving over next to it, this is my ID 5100 that I had in the earlier videos. The difference is that I now use this primarily for D-Star, and I can't display that today because apparently there's something going on with the D-Star network, so it's not connected. But normally when that works, I can link to reflectors, and I just use that. I have a little receive transmit antenna here inside for the to basically talk to the zoom spot. And that's what I use that for. Don't use it a lot, but I do get on D-Star, or most of the time listen and see who's online. And it's an interesting way of communicating, but it works, and I have made some contacts. And when the show Last Man Standing went off the air a couple of years ago, I actually made a contact. They had stations out there, and I made a contact with the set on D-Star. So that was kind of neat. Alright, above that is my brand new weather station. The one I'd had in here for several years, just finally gave it up, and I like to have accurate weather information. Above that is the iPad that I've been using for quite a while. Mostly running, I can run the weather app on that, or I'm running a program called Zulu Time, which is kind of neat. I've got a couple different time zones there. Above that is the new Flex 8400 right there. So that's I've had that for, I don't know, not quite a year now, but I really like that radio. I find it listens really well, and of course, with the magnetic storm, nothing's working well right now. But when it's somewhat normal conditions, it does a great job for me, and I'll show you the interface for that in just a second. So I've got what I'm displaying right now is my main working screen, or at least the position that I face. Has my MacLogger software on the left-hand side. And you can see it's setting on the same frequency as my ICOM is. Got that there, and then right beside it I'm running my FT8 WSJTX software right there. And that's integrated directly into the logbook, and it works really well. So I've made a bunch of contacts across the world on FT8, and it's certainly a handy communication protocol, particularly when the conditions are not too great for sideband and all those other methods. Move the display around a little bit. Got my map window up here. Just comes out of the MacLogger, kind of gives me an idea where people are at, and of course I also get that from the display on the rotator. Let's see, moving over to the top right is, I seen one of these operating at the Hamvention, I think year before last, and I thought that was cool, and I like the information it presents. That's the 4K Geochron. So I added that. I got a 4K monitor that goes with it. And boy, do you get a lot of detail from this. I can set up alarm parameters. You can customize it how detailed you want. I've got some of the major information in here. Of course, I can see the the gray lines as it changes, as it moves really from left to right, you know, as the time changes. And of course I'm tracking a lot of the International Space Station and a lot of other things relative to ham radio. I've got the ham radio package, and obviously you can see the solar data right there on the left hand side. So over here, down below it, is I've got another monitor that right now is displaying my LOTW page. I was just checking. I've been trying to shore up my worked all states on phone here, and I'm very close. Again, I took some time off from radio, and I'm behind on a couple of those things. But anyway, I've got that up here. I run DX Heat as a cluster, and let's see, I've got some other stuff. My this is my Pi-Star digital voice dashboard for D-Star, but the network is down, as you can see over here, so that's not helping me very much. All right, let's see. I'll switch the configuration here in a second, but before I do that, this is the mic that I'm using now. Connected right now to the Flex. I can connect it to the ICOM. The Flex is what I'm using mostly for voice. That's a Heil PR781, and that's a great mic. A little more, I guess, diaphragm area than the handy mics I was using previously. I do have a handy mic for my my dual band. And I'll get to that now. Well, actually, it's a tri-band. So another addition, not too long after I posted the last video, is an ICOM 9700. So it will do, it'll do VHF, UHF, and super high frequency. And one of the primary reasons I bought this was it's set up built in for satellite. Well, I haven't done that yet. That was the intent. So I may get around to doing that. I've got to put a couple of egg beater antennas up, I think, to do a decent job of that. But it is a great radio. I do get on the local repeaters every now and then, but added that, and I think, let's see, I got over here. I use that. That is a handy mic, one of my prior handy mics, or the ones I had before, that I use with the 9700. All right, give me just a minute, and I'm going to reconfigure a couple of things and bring up the display for the Flex. Be right back. All right, Jeff, K4AVK back with you. I've kind of transitioned, and it only took me really a minute to do it. I just needed a free hand. From the ICOM 7610, where I was running FT8, over to the Flex 8400. And what I really had to do there was basically just switch the amp input from 1 to 2. And change my software selection on my Mac logger. Let me put this over here. Over to the Flex. The Mac logger software can recognize 8 different radio profiles. How it's set up here is the ICOM 7610 is a USB connection to the iMac that I have running this PC here. The Flex is across the LAN, so again, it's a great radio for remote operations. They also have their, you can either do it with the PC, or they have their Maestro remote head that you can take with you. When I originally got the Flex, I thought I might want to get one of those because I'm kind of old school and like the buttons and knobs, but I got to tell you, after starting it and running it on PC, at least for what I'm doing here, I really don't need the Maestro. If I get into remote use, I might. So anyway, what you're seeing here is the the Windows version of the Flex SDR software. Obviously, you can see I've got this on a 27-inch monitor, kind of reduced just a little bit, but a big display, and it's easy to see signals that come up on the waterfall on the spectrum. Over to the side are all the control functions, the signal strength meter, RF power, tune power, where you tune it. This one has an auto tuner built into it that's in bypass right now because I'm using the external tuner because, of course, of my amp. One of the cool things that they do is you can actually monitor your mic levels without having to transmit. You can see as I talk here, I'm coming up on the audio level meter. Let's see, you can set, if you had a bunch of different profiles for mics, or you can use your own. They also have digital signal processing, compression, and things like that I actually don't use because I've got plenty of audio out. And the one thing you do have to be careful is you have to set the levels for each band, for each power setting on the Flex for the Flex and the amp. And it's easy if you've got it set at one level to actually overdrive it and trip the amp out because you've increased the audio signal because of processing. So anyway, it's just a matter of getting the right settings, but I find it works without using the additional processing. You can see down below that they got the Vox setting. I don't use Vox. Below that is the frequencies, volume controls. You can pan from right to left. I don't use stereo, and filtering. And you see some noise blanker, noise reduction, A and F. Well, if you go up here to the top, what they call a slice, you can see the additional screen up here that shows the receive frequency. And under DSP, there's actually all kinds of, this is the latest software for their Windows version, and it's got all kinds of DSP, noise reduction software. Some of it works, depends on the conditions. If it's really noisy, there's some stuff in here that helps with that. But these here are pretty good. Let's see, and down near the bottom right-hand side, these have Flex's built in a graphic equalizer that for receive and transmit, so you can kind of tune your tone on both the incoming and the outgoing. I've got, I think if you look at my settings, that's receive. You can see the transmit profile there. So I've got the mid-range boost up on my transmit to kind of cut through and roll off some of the lows. So that I get really good audio reports coming through this. One of the other things I do, if I go back to my logging software, you can see where I've got NetLogger up. Where I do a lot of nets in the U.S. I'm part of what they call the OMIS, Old Man International Society, Sideband Society, so I participate in some of those. Certainly helps me with some of my worked all state stuff, but have a good time there, so that's tracked here. I also have a Mac version of the SDR control where I can actually interface with the Flex and put it right in the place where you see NetLogger. And if I want, I can run NetLogger over on this screen. So I've got a couple different options I can use, making use of the PCs and the Mac versions versus the Windows versions. The Mac version for the Flex is similar but different, just because of the two different PC platforms that you got there. Let's see, last but least over here, I've got a West Mountain Radio Clear Speak radios, so it has some digital processing in it. It's minimal because I get a lot of it through the radio again, but pretty good clear sounding radio. And I can also divert. If you see up there on the top, I can select PC audio, which it comes out of a PC speaker, so I can move around what I want to do. I won't spend too much time here, but I've moved some of my accessory devices. What you see there, probably not see it well because of the light, is a mic selector switch, and that's really connected to the ICOM 7610. And then my Rig Blaster Advantage, which is used for the MRP4D software when I'm using that. All right, I'll be back in a moment. All right, K4AVK, Jeff back here with you, getting ready to wrap up. I appreciate everybody kind of tuning in so I could share with you what I've been doing with my ham shack, some of the things I've added, kind of why I added them. But of course, if you've got any questions, certainly post them, and I'll be happy to respond. If there's anything that I've done here that you might want to incorporate somewhere, it's not certainly not rocket science. It's amazing the technology that's around today. So I guess in some regards, getting into it later allowed me to get into some of that, but the flip side is I certainly wish I'd got into ham radio much sooner than I did. Just one of those things, but I'm doing my best to keep the hobby alive here in Virginia Beach. I'm doing my best to kind of set up a station that works well for me. And again, if you see anything here that you have questions about, shoot me a note. I'll be glad to respond. Otherwise, I appreciate everybody for dropping in and hanging around for how many ever minutes this video is long. And we hope to catch up with you on the airways. So until the next one, which, well, I don't know. I'm running out of things to add here, so I might have to figure out some content beyond Ham Shack tours. But anyway, again, thanks for stopping by. We'll catch you again with that 73 all K4AVK. Take care and see you soon.